Sorry guys, the video got cut off. I'm going to start up at the top of chapter 12 again. It's called Reaching Out. This was July 19th, 2022, day 12. Quote by Alex Ebert: "When you're in pain, you're genuinely very, very alive, and that's beautiful, especially emotional pain." My words. Heart aching, shame, heartbreak, relief. Seems like these things could never occur simultaneously. They don't mix. Bad recipe. Sardines, hot sauce, jelly beans, Crisco. All blended together, and somehow I'm supposed to stomach it. I vented last night to my girls, and I was honest. And they reacted differently, each in kind. 12 days ago, I was not okay. Intolerable pain. Anger, shame, heartbreak. So much pain. I couldn't take any more, and I very seriously considered suicide momentarily. And it scared me to my core. The next morning I began writing. This has saved me. I'm finally processing, finding my voice. Telling my friends this that truly love me was excruciating, both to give and receive. They knew it, though. Rhonda wanted to kick my ass. Literally, she wants me to fight. And I've hurt them. I knew I was hurting them. Over all the long days, I isolated. All the people who loved me tapping loudly at my windows, and I just shut the blinds and turned loud music on and stayed within, alone, drowning. Lost, completely lost. It has been so difficult trying to come back from it, and now I am dealing with repercussions. Mending old fences, some won't forgive. I've already ran into that, but some will, Jaren. Some will take the time to understand. Those are the ones, Jaren. The ones that will be there forever. Those are your precious people. I just need to get myself back to a place where I can be there for them also. They're hurt. They all went through so much while you were checked out, and they are trying to understand. It will take time, but Jaren, you must continue rebuilding no matter what. Gentle reminders many times a day, as often as you need. It is a process. It's not magically going to get better. It's a process. What such great things come from such pain. I feel lonely. There. That was difficult to admit. I feel misunderstood. I'm trying so hard to convey everything in an understandable way, yet struggling. And it makes me feel lonely. I don't know if anyone truly understands what this is like, and that's an extremely lonely feeling. And it's scary, both the fear of not truly understanding what is happening and feeling powerless over it. Took a break and took my niece to the pool. It's beautiful out today. She swam, I supervised. We talked and laughed. It felt good, so easy. Sun on my skin, content. I may go for a swim tonight. I don't know yet. I don't do that enough. And I love it, especially at night. No one there. Swim vigorously, exhaust myself, then float under the stars. Relax. Peace. God, I love the water. I miss having a bathtub more than I can express, really. Just a shower doesn't do it. My favorite thing to do when stressed. Light candles. Lots. Bubbles. Oils, sweet perfume, hot water, so hot I must ease in. Relax, amazing music, maybe a good book, and then I'd get lost. That sounds incredible. I should book a room just for a night somewhere, with a huge bathtub, and spend the night just relaxing. God, that sounds amazing. I just asked Gage if I seem calmer to him. Over the last nearly 2 weeks, he said no, not really. That surprised me. So I asked him if I seem more on edge. No. Less on edge? No. Okay, how do I seem? Comatose. Yikes. What the hell? I guess it would look that way. I'm in my own world, writing constantly, wine or beer in hand after 5, but it's so weird. Because I have all this going on constantly, processing, thinking, understanding. I'm not numb. I feel everything clearly, maybe for the first time ever. As far as I know, I've never been manic, but I imagine this may be what it feels like. But to the outside world, I am subdued, worse, comatose. This I do not understand, beyond my pay grade. Wait a minute. Trauma-related dissociation. Most health professionals believe dissociation is a way the mind copes with too much stress. Many people with a dissociative disorder have a traumatic event during childhood, although dissociation can also occur with other types of trauma. This is called trauma-related dissociation. Trauma-related dissociation is sometimes described as a mental escape, when physical escape is not possible, or when a person is so emotionally overwhelmed they cannot cope any longer. Sometimes dissociation is like switching off. Some survivors describe it as a way of saying this isn't happening to me. These reactions are usually temporary. In cases of severe repeated trauma, dissociation may last longer. This can be frightening and difficult to explain to others. And this is from www.isst/d.org/public resources/home. Okay. Maybe trauma-related dissociation, but am I thinking this isn't happening to me? No. I very much know something is happening to me. It's what was happening. Definitely dissociation. Damn it. I thought I was onto something. Maybe I am. I need to discuss with Abigail. I do get lost in the music, and I am flashing back at times. I can tell right before it'll happen, but I'm okay in it. I'm not afraid of it. I think I'm just processing, and then reprocessing, and then reprocessing again. But there are daydreams too. Some may be healthy. Dreams of my book doing well, dreams of learning the guitar, but I will occasionally have a daydream about Adia. Occasionally. Is this because I'm still processing? Is it unhealthy to hope? But I'm not fixated on it. Momentarily I may be, but it goes away, and I start processing other things or events. I wonder if I put into computer terms if Gage could understand better. Processors, uploading data, clearing my fucking cache. I don't know. I thought of something else. Writing this out makes me slow down. By hand, it is too slow. My mind works too quickly, but typing it is just right. I can take my time, really think, but still allows all ideas to flow freely, all thoughts to come, and actually in an orderly fashion. I am not panicked in the memories. I may cry, but I know I'm okay. I allow one memory to trigger another, and it is actually okay. Fascinating. That's what this therapy is intended to do, I believe. Again, I'm unsure because I've never been here, but it sure feels like I'm spring cleaning my head. All of those files of memories that have been so tediously cleaned, ordered, alphabetized for others. Lucky bastards. I kid, I don't wish what I've been through on anyone. My files of memories are like an episode of Hoarders. Make no sense. Undeveloped photographs. But now, finally, the drapes are back, and I'm cleaning this shit up. So I appear comatose while doing it. Shit, I guess that's better than feeling comatose. And at least I'm not checked out watching stupid YouTube videos, playing stupid games online. I'm present. I'm right here. I'm productive. I'm learning. I'm understanding. It's just taking all of me. And all of that has to be okay. It has to. I had another thought. Homosexuality. It was hidden from us in our childhood. We were shielded from many things, exposed to all the wrong things. A dirty, dirty secret. I don't think I knew what a lesbian was until I was 12 or 13, and it was still a joke. Stereotypes abound. At that time, even Angela's mom hid it. So I learned being gay is shameful. Hide it. It's dirty. It's wrong. So fucked up. I'm so proud of myself for raising an amazing LGBTQIA+ Alliance young man. I fucking did it right. But back to my thoughts. Shame, secret, dirty, wrong. And I knew I was different at 9 years old. I had a crush on my best friend Amy. I just didn't understand it was a crush. I just knew I had really intense feelings I shouldn't have. I wanted to hug her all the time. It felt good to be around her, and I was excited to see her every day at school, but she was in foster care. Her parents were horrible, and one day she was just not at school. I was told she moved to a group home far away. I was devastated, despondent. Why the fuck does everyone leave? Nothing stays the same. Nothing is safe. There it is. Then in 5th grade, we went to science camp in Lake Arrowhead in the middle of winter. I wasn't supposed to go. Everyone in my class but me. We didn't have the money. So I was to be in a different classroom for the week. But I had the surprise of my lifetime. The maternal figure and my teacher actually worked together on a plan so I could go. I had absolutely no idea. The maternal figure even showed up with new clothes in my luggage. I was seeing snow for the first time. It was incredible. I was so happy. I felt special. I inner tubed. I hiked. I learned. I read scary stories in our cabin with the other girls. I took risks. I played. I volunteered. I was on stage. I drank hot apple cider for the first time. I loved every second. I was happy. And I developed the biggest crush on my camp counselor. Intense feelings, scary, exciting feelings. She was the kindest, funniest woman ever. She was super young, probably 17. I was smitten. I was her favorite. And God, I loved it. But now, there's those feelings, shame. And Jaren, she's almost an adult. This is so wrong. There's something wrong with you. You're sick. You're going to hell. So fucked up. Of course I had feelings for her. She was never mean to me. Not one time. She was patient, smart, kind, funny. And she made me feel special. Shame. Do I think feeling special is shameful? Interesting. There are those webs and strings again. Holy shit, here it comes. If you feel special, it means you stand out. I tried to make myself as small as possible around the maternal figure. I wanted to feel special. I wanted to be proud of myself. I wanted the maternal figure to be proud of me. But with every achievement behind closed doors, there was ridicule. But she played the adoring maternal figure to the public. It was so confusing. I remember I told her that I wanted to look like her when I grew up. She made me repeat what I said to everyone. Narcissist. Then I've got pictures of when I was at me at 5th grade camp on my bunk, and then that bottom one is when I was on stage and they were making me into an eagle. All right. Okay, here's where I kind of start going into the trauma timeline. Here, Chupa. Chup. Chew. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I don't believe I've talked about this in therapy either. Charlie, 5th grade. We had a very sweet girl in our class that we were all aware was in special education. She didn't speak much. I remember her making noises and laughing a lot, but I don't remember her talking. Somehow, I have always been instinctually pulled to those that need to be looked after, and this girl was bullied. A lot. We were at lunch, everyone had eaten, everyone was playing, I was on the blacktop talking to friends. I noticed a boy in our class, a known bully, Charlie, and another boy out past where they were supposed to be, in the field with this girl. They appeared to be playing, but my instincts can be acute. There was something wrong. I watched for a little while, then I watched as Charlie began dragging her across the field by her arms. I needed to make sure she was okay. By the time I got to them, the girl's pants and underwear were around her ankles. She was completely exposed. The boys were obviously intrigued, and I saw fucking red. I screamed as loudly as I could to let her go. The boys, startled, dropped her arms. The girl was laughing until that point. Once I began yelling, she realized something was wrong. She began crying. She looked humiliated and so confused. God damn them. She fixed her pants and ran towards the girls' bathroom. Rage. Back to the boys. I fucking verbally let them have it. Got in their faces. I wanted to deck them. And then I fucking went and spilled everything to my teacher. No one but me was paying attention that day. And if they were, no one did a damn thing. That disgusted me. Screw everyone else. I'll do the right thing. Try to anyway. Always. Man, did I fuck that up at times. I learned later that Charlie was being abused at home, and I felt so sorry for him. It broke my heart. Empathy. So much, so young. And a fierce yearning for justice. So much hurt, so much wrong. Everywhere you look. So unsafe. I received a plaque from the city. There was an assembly. I was praised. It was confusing. The maternal figure went to the assembly, complete surprise, playing the doting mother in public, but nothing changed at home. I was made to feel like a kiss ass by the maternal figure. The positive reinforcement continued to elude me. On the home front, anyway. Nothing I could do would make her proud. Everything I did annoyed her. Everything. It's why I tried to get love from my teachers. And most were amazingly loving, but none, as far as I am aware, recognized the signs of abuse. They failed me. By God, I was going to grow up and make sure other kids weren't failed, and I have. I have made huge differences in lives, and it feels good, and I'll continue to do so for now. But I now am on a new path forward, and I'm excited. I have written 80 pages. It's actually 111, but okay. Holy shit, 80 fucking pages. Who knew I had so much to say? I did, but I wouldn't. Never again. Just try and silence me. Lessons learned. I have a voice. Something to say. I'll use it. Never going back. I couldn't. That would be like trying to go back in the closet. Hell no. Screw it. Here we go. Now I start talking about the trauma timeline. It's time to talk about Wally. Wally was a neighbor that lived in our neighborhood a short time, yet entirely too long. He drove a school bus as his personal vehicle and was rumored to be an organized crime. The parents were cordial to him, but I was afraid of him. I sensed that he was a bad man. I couldn't have been older than 10. I was always in charge of doing the laundry for the family. It was a normal day. I needed to check on the laundry. For quite some time there had been a steady noise that everyone in the family heard and was trying to figure out what it was and where it was coming from. Thud, 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 like a steady rhythm of a drum. What the hell was that? I went, quarters in hand, to do the laundry and passed Wally's apartment. The door was open. Wally had his hands around a man's throat, rhythmically beating his head into the wall. The man was either dead or passed out. Thud, 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 thud. I freaked out, dropped the laundry, ran back home, told the maternal figure. I do not remember anything about it after that. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea about anything regarding this other than what I just told you. I blocked it out. I know I did. But I can still hear still see Wally's hands around the man's neck, and I still hear that thud, 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 thud. Pardon me. Screw it. Let's talk about the suicides. I'm feeling brave today. I've written so much today. There were 2 suicides in our apartment complex where I lived when I lived there, from when I was a toddler until I was 10 years old. I honestly don't remember what happened first. I think it was our teenage neighbor. He and his mom were unbelievably sweet. Michael was in his teens. He would walk by us playing on his way home from high school. He was always so sweet to us, out playing tag and making mud pies. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Michael's mom became sick with cancer. I don't think she survived long. Michael was devastated with her passing. The bullet he used to shoot himself in the head passed through the wall into the pool we swam in. Second suicide. The maternal figure was hysterical. We were not allowed outside. She kept going out. Whispers between the maternal figure and the faux father. I think the faux father was there, or was the maternal figure on the phone with him? I can't remember. What's going on? Marjorie Taylor and I attempted to sneak out to peek, but our plans were foiled by the parents, thank God. A teenager that did not live in the area crashed his dad's car. He was terrified of his dad, so he drove to our neighborhood, pulled up in front of our apartment complex, made a noose, and hanged himself in the tree my siblings and I climbed on every day, rather than face his father. The maternal figure found him. Again, I don't remember much about these incidents, except the maternal figure pulled Marjorie Taylor and I aside. She told us that if we ever felt that we wanted to do that to ourselves, that we could talk to her, we could go to her. Fucking liar. I tried going to her later in life, during a crisis, during suicidal thoughts. She blew me off. Told me everyone felt that way sometimes. She didn't remember that one moment of humanity I remember as a child. So much for that, right, the maternal figure? I haven't even gotten to the maternal figure's attempted suicide and filicide. In due time. God, this is hard. Jeez. Okay. This is a picture of me by the tree that the boy used to hang himself. So morbid. I said I recently came across this picture and it literally stopped my breathing momentarily. This is the tree the boy hung himself from. I was probably around 8 years old here. I was standing on the bricks that used to be there. This was around the time the boy hung himself because I remember them removing those trees shortly after his death. Alright, so let's try and go through the timeline and see if I can process now. And this is when I finally start the trauma timeline. Chronological trauma timeline, 12/20/2021. Less than 1 month old when the maternal figure hit Grandma Josie. 3 to 6 months old, the maternal figure wanting to give me up for adoption as an infant. Grandma taking me to Montana. Mount St. Helens eruption. 2 to 3 years old, peeing pants in the kitchen, the faux father accidentally scaring me. 4 years old, getting the gun pulled on me at the pool. Fuck, here we go. Okay. The maternal figure hitting Grandma Josie. God, it really started right away. I didn't know the whole story until my biological dad died when I was 26 years old. I'll tell you what my dad told me first, when I was in my teens. I had never heard this story through my childhood. I had heard this story through my childhood, but never really understood. My Grandma Josie is my biological dad Joe's mom. After I was born, within the first month of my life, my Grandma Josie came down to help with me. She was staying with my dad and the maternal figure in the apartment. She didn't stay long, a few days it turned out. My dad went to work, normal morning. Grandma Josie was going to help me with my first bath. Something happened. My dad came home from work. No Grandma Josie. She went home. What? Why? She was supposed to be here much longer. Joe called her. She would not talk about what happened. All she said was, "Joe, you have a problem." She meant the maternal figure. Everyone knew it. Dear God, what happened? My Grandma Josie died with her secret, but it turned out that she told my Uncle Bob in private. Uncle Bob never told my dad. My dad died never knowing. And I was privy to this secret days after my dad's death. The maternal figure had hit or punched my Grandma Josie. There was some type of struggle, I think, with me in the bath, and the maternal figure went nuts and assaulted my grandmother. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know many other details. I don't understand what compelled her. I just don't know. But that ominous warning from my Grandma Josie, "Joe, you have a problem." You have to understand, my Grandma Josie was a badass. She was the first female child abuse homicide detective in Bakersfield. From what I remember. If my grandmother left me there with that lunatic, something more must have happened. Did the maternal figure threaten her? Did the maternal figure say she could drown me and blame my grandma? Did she show her she could do it? Fuck, I don't know. Sounds like her. I came out of the womb to this shit. I was a warrior from day one. I had no choice. What the hell happened to that precious baby that day? I don't know. But I highly suspect my trauma began that day, if not before. But certainly that day. How far back can we remember? What the fuck happened to me that day? Was I hurt? What did I witness? Does my subconscious remember? I don't know. I simply have no idea. And that's why this one bothers me, maybe the most. I have no idea what to process. I was too young. There has to be a way. It's a picture of me and my dad. My biological dad, Joe, and I was less than 1 month old there. Okay. On to the next. The maternal figure wanting to give me up for adoption. Grandma took me in. Mount St. Helens erupts. I know my dad and the maternal figure divorced shortly after the maternal figure assaulting Grandma incident. I was still an infant, maybe 6 months old. The maternal figure didn't want me. There was talk of giving me to someone in my Aunt Judith's church, but the faux father and my biological dad swear that wasn't going to happen. And my Aunt Judith is just nuts. Makes sense to me. She's batshit crazy, in my opinion. I digress. My dad went to work at the water district, made plans on how to get me back. Those plans never came to fruition. Meanwhile, my beautiful Graham took me to live with her in Montana, her home state. Then Mount St. Helen erupted. Graham said that she had to keep my face covered. The ash was so thick. She had to keep wiping away the ash from my mouth and nose. Obviously, consciously, I don't remember any of this, but it must have rocked my little world up, down, and around. On one hand, I was ripped away from my father, who I am sure I was very bonded with. I was ripped away from the maternal figure, should have stayed that way, and given to a woman I didn't know in a new state with a huge natural disaster occurring nearby. It's a lot for an infant. Okay. This is me with my Graham, around 6 months old. Postscript, November 2023. All right, there's so much to unpack in this entry. First, yes, I was very much struggling with dissociation. I have been my entire life. I am proud to say that it does not happen that often now. Thank God. Currently, my life has been flipped upside down. My job has gone to hell. They are in big trouble with all they have been and are currently putting me through. They have dug themselves into a deep hole, and justice will prevail. I refuse to be treated the way they are treating me. This is my teaching job. I am not their scapegoat. My landlord just informed me that I have 60 days to vacate my apartment. I'm planning on leaving the state. I am ready to get the hell away from those with NPD who surround me. Mainly those with NPD in my family, and I am struggling with major health concerns. I may have a heart problem. God, that was scary. And I may have uterine cancer, and I have surgery to find out for sure on December 18th. Yeah, that's an insane amount of stressors. However, I've not been dissociating. That is massive progress. I'm damn proud of myself for not breaking. I'm proud of myself for my ability to keep a positive attitude through this all, for the most part. Next, regarding homosexuality and it being kept from me as a child. This was so messed up. I knew I was different. There were many signs that I would turn out to be a lesbian when I was a child, and I wonder now if it was kept from me due to the parents believing I may be gay. Let this be a lesson to other parents. This does nothing but screw your children up. When you keep the fact that there are people who are gay in this world, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with being gay. My struggle with my sexual identity caused so much angst and confusion. Please don't do this to your children. The long-term effects of such actions are devastating. Wally, the suicides. What happened with Wally, thinking that man who was being beaten may be dead. The visual that still haunts me. I don't think it will ever go away. It won't. The parents never helped me process it at all. One of the many ways they absolutely failed as parents. The suicides. The faux father has read this part of the book, and from what I was told, he exploded and ranted about it. Jaren wasn't traumatized by the kid who hung himself. She never saw it. What a dolt. Seriously, stupidity should be painful. I didn't have to see it to be traumatized by it, you ignorant hillbilly. Educate yourself. Of course it traumatized me. I didn't have to see it to be traumatized by it. Knowing the story, playing out there every day, of course it was in the forefront of our minds. I was already a traumatized little girl, yet this compounded the trauma. Alright, on to when I was an infant. Much has happened with my understanding of events, with a maternal figure leaving me. According to a family member on my biological dad's side of the family, I was approximately 3 weeks old when the maternal figure left me. She told my dad some stupid stereotyped story. It went something like this. The maternal figure told my father that she needed something from the store. She left and never returned. I believe that she may have been seeing the faux father on the side while still married to my biological father. I believe when she went to the store, she really went to the faux father. My biological dad did not have the knowledge, money, or resources to take care of me by himself. This still bothers me. He could have figured it out. Why didn't he go to his family for help? Why didn't he fight harder? It fucking hurts. But that's not how it went down. That's the reality, and I must accept it. So the family began to toss me around like a fucking football. 3 weeks old, they supposedly made plans to give me to a couple in Aunt Judith's church, cough, cough, cult. I ended up with my grandma in Montana. Why, you may ask? Well, I have since learned that the maternal figure was given an ultimatum by the faux father. It essentially went like this: if you want to be with me, you must get rid of your baby. Yep, piece of shit. Grandma told me that he was such a piece of shit then, he wouldn't even allow me in the apartment. My grandma often refers to him as a, quote, a little Hitler, end quote. Sounds about right to me. I wasn't allowed in his home, like, at all, not even to visit. Again, I was an innocent 3-week-old infant. He was that threatened by a 3-week-old baby. He's not just a stupid hillbilly, but a fucking monster in my eyes. I know, don't dehumanize him. He is simply a sick fucking man. I'm working on that, but in my eyes, if there are evil people on this earth, I believe that makes him one. That was a long chapter. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through it. We'll go more into the trauma timeline next week. We'll start with chapter 13. Wish me luck this week. The weather's supposed to start getting better-ish. Thank God. Later on in the week. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I love all of you guys. Take care. Bye.